all of your partners today and in the future.
Fantastic.
Shall I share my screen and start the presentation?
Yes,
okay,
that would be great. And we're also recording this as well.
Okay, cool. Bo, could you just
yes,
enable me to share my screen?
Yep, no problem. Yep, should be okay now.
Okay, great. Okay, everybody, so hopefully you can see my screen now.
Yep.
Bo, great. Okay.
Got it.
So like Bo said, my name's Dan. I work at Federation University, Australia. I'm based in Ballarat, which is the home campus of Federation University, Australia. First of all, I just want to say hello to everybody, and I hope you're well. It's been a really difficult year, so I hope you're all safe and well. I hope you haven't been too badly affected by the COVID pandemic, and I hope that we can all really start to recover and get back to normal as soon as possible. So Federation University, if you haven't heard of us, we are a very established institution in Australia. We actually have an extremely long history dating back to 1870. So we were founded in Ballarat as the School of Mines and Industries, Ballarat, in 1870. And yeah, we've developed under different names over the last 150 years. We were planning to have big celebrations this year for our 150 years, but it's not really the year to have big celebrations. So we are now an Australian government university, and our name changed from University of Ballarat to Federation University about 5 years ago. So as Bo said, one of the things that we're most well known for is our really high quality teaching and student support. So according to student experience surveys and graduate surveys that are recorded in the Good Universities Guide and the Quilt data, we always get really great rankings in terms of teaching quality, student support, and student satisfaction. And that's really because of our history as a regional university. We now have city campuses, but our history as a regional university means that we have small class sizes, the smallest class sizes in Victoria. So that means that our students get extra personal attention and care. They get a lot of support in their learning. We have excellent student support for academic support, English support, careers development, and we just generally give our students a lot of attention and care. They get to know their lecturers really well, and they have a very supportive environment on campus. So that leads to great student satisfaction. Another area that we're really well known for is our employment outcomes. So again, even though we are a regional university and most of our graduates that featured in these surveys come from our regional campuses, we have outstanding employment outcomes, which shows that there are great employment opportunities in regional areas in Australia. So we're currently the second best university in Australia for postgraduate full-time employment. In Victoria, we're the #1 university for full-time graduate employment and the #1 for starting salary. So that means that students who graduate from Federation University get jobs faster and get paid more money than students from any other university in Melbourne or Victoria. So that's a pretty impressive result. So our tuition fees are very competitive, and we're really happy that we've just announced some exciting new scholarships. So we have a Global Innovator Scholarship for 2021, which means that all international students who start with us in 2021 on coursework degrees at undergraduate and postgraduate level will get an automatic 20% tuition-free reduction. So that's every international student who starts with us on an undergraduate or postgraduate coursework degree next year will get at least 20% off of their degree. If students have a really strong academic background, then they could qualify for our Global Excellence Scholarship, which means that they will get 25% off of their tuition fees. And we also have accommodation scholarships worth up to $4,000 discount on first-year campus accommodation for students studying with us at our Victorian campuses. So how do these scholarships work? Well, firstly, you don't need to do anything extra. The scholarships will be immediately, automatically assessed by our admissions team. So every student will get the 20%.
Mm-hmm.
For Indian and Nepalese applications, all students will get the 20%, and students who have that high achieving background will be offered the choice of the Global Excellence Scholarship at 25%, or the 20% and the accommodation scholarship. So financially, if students are going to live on campus with us for a whole year, the saving is about equal. It's just a question of, does the student want to, take advantage of the accommodation, live on campus and make friends and live 5 minutes walk from campus, or do they just want to take the 25% global excellence? Now, India and Nepal are our main source countries for Federation University. As Bo said, we have a great reputation in South Asia, and we are looking to diversify our market. So for other source countries, students coming from any other country outside of India and Nepal will be offered the accommodation scholarship as well as the Global Innovator Scholarship. So if we have any applications from Vietnam, Indonesia, Bhutan, anywhere else outside of India and Nepal, students will be offered the accommodation scholarship and the 20% automatically when they apply. Okay. If they meet the criteria of the Global Excellence Scholarship, they will be offered the chance to take the 25% instead of the 20% and accommodation scholarship. Okay. Okay, so if you have any questions about scholarships, like Bo said, just type questions into the chat as we go. So here's where our campuses are based. You can see on the map, this is Victoria. It looks like a small part of Australia, but I'm sure you know it's has a big population. About a quarter of the population of Australia lives in Victoria. So Melbourne, second biggest city in Australia. Our campus in Berwick is in the outer eastern suburbs. Then Ballarat is our traditional home. It's just an hour on the train from Melbourne. So students can live in Ballarat, access the regional benefits of living in a regional town, but it's just an hour on the train. You can go into Melbourne at the weekend. Some students even work in the city centre of Melbourne. We also have a campus over here in Gippsland, which is a bit more remote, a bit more of a smaller town called Churchill. And then we have a campus, if students want to be in the center of a big city, we have a campus right in the center of Brisbane. So here's our Ballarat campus in Melbourne. It's a very modern campus. It used to be a Monash campus, so it's beautifully designed. Ballarat, like I said, is in the outer suburbs of Melbourne. It's in the outer eastern suburbs. It's a very multicultural area. A lot of international students live in those eastern suburbs. So it's a very fast-growing suburb, and it's a nice place to live and a bit more affordable than some of the inner suburbs. The campus itself is just 5 minutes walk from the train station, so it's really easy to get into central Melbourne. So here's what the campus looks like. Here's our student accommodation. Here's our facilities over here. So you can see the campus has great grounds. It's just a quick walk to the high street or to the train station. We have great student spaces and great facilities for science, nursing, and a wide range of other subjects. In Berwick itself, there are great parks and high streets. One stop away on the train is Nowra Warren, which has the second biggest shopping centre in Australia, I think, definitely in Melbourne, but in Australia, I think. And it has this beautiful arts centre. And then there's, like I said, a lot of multicultural suburbs around. This is Dandenong Market, I think. So Dandenong, Springvale, places like that, which are very multicultural suburbs of Melbourne, are very close by. Then in Brisbane, our campus is a city centre campus. In Brisbane, it's an international campus, so it's only for international students. In our other campuses, it's predominantly domestic students. So our campus in Brisbane is beautifully designed. It actually won a Melbourne Design Award. Yeah, right in the heart of the city, 5 minutes walk from the central train station. Beautiful facilities. It's only been open for 2 years, so it's a It's like a family atmosphere up there. We have about 500 students at the moment, so everybody knows each other and there's great student support. There's also excellent industry connections. The campus director up there is very well connected with a wide range of companies in Brisbane, and they really work hard to make sure that students get great industry experiences. So in Brisbane, we have a trimester structure, so we have a November intake. The other campuses are just 2 semesters. So here you can see more of our Brisbane campus. Yeah, beautifully designed, right in the heart of the city. And then Brisbane itself is a city of 2 million people. It's a really beautiful city, great weather, and I think is the fastest growing capital city in Australia for employment opportunities. Okay, Gippsland is a totally different option. If you have students who are interested in a really peaceful place to study, Gippsland's based in Churchill in Victoria, so it's a town of about 10,000 people. The campus itself is really big. Again, it used to be a Monash campus, and we have a wide range of our programs available in Gippsland. Again, great facilities, industry connections. It's a regional campus, so students can apply for the 4-year post-study work visa, and it's a very affordable and relaxed place to study. So again, if you have students who want to study somewhere, where they're in a small, welcoming community, it's very peaceful, but they can get out into nature really easily, then Gippsland's a good option. So here's the campus itself, great facilities and accommodation. You can see here the campus is really big, and it's surrounded by nature, and there's plenty to do. If you're an outdoorsy person in the local area, you could go kayaking, skiing, down to the coast. It's a really beautiful place to explore. Then our other regional campus and our main home campus, our traditional home, is in Ballarat. So like I said, Ballarat is where I live. I used to live in Melbourne for 10 to 12 years. I'm from England originally, but I moved to Ballarat about 3 years ago. And Ballarat's much bigger than than Churchill. It's about 100,000 people, which probably doesn't sound big to many of you, but it's the 3rd biggest city in Victoria. It's the 3rd biggest inland city in Australia. So for a regional city in Australia, it is a very well-established historic city, and it's a really nice place to live. So it's a great location for international students because we have really high quality education and facilities, more affordable fees and accommodation. So accommodation costs in Ballarat are much lower than in Melbourne or Brisbane or Sydney. It's a relaxed and enjoyable lifestyle. And then there are the regional incentives and employment opportunities. So in Ballarat, we have really high quality education, excellent facilities. Like I said, really small class sizes and great connections with regional industry. This is our campus in Ballarat. So again, a really spacious, big campus surrounded by nature. Over here is the student accommodation. Around the campus, there is a technology park with big companies like IBM and Concentrix are based within walking distance of our campus. So we have great connections with them, and a lot of our graduates work for those big companies. The campus itself is 15 minutes from Ballarat city centre, and there are regular buses into the city. On campus, we have a beautiful gym and swimming pool and lots of other facilities for students. Here's our science and engineering building. We have excellent nursing facilities, lecture theatres, science facilities, and so on. On campus, you can see it's surrounded by nature, so there's great places to play sport, for festivals, cafes, and great student spaces. And yeah, we have excellent student accommodation as well. So students can live on campus. It's a great way to make friends and settle into their new environment. We have international student support who organize trips into the local area and really help students to feel at home. So Ballarat itself, okay, I'm going to talk a bit more about Ballarat because I'm sure you all know Melbourne and Brisbane, but Ballarat might be new to you. So Ballarat itself is a really interesting, attractive city. It's historic. It's famous for the gold rush. People came to Ballarat, in the 1850s to try and find gold. People came from all over the world. It used to be at one time a bigger city than Melbourne, but obviously not now. But it's a really nice community, and international students here have a great chance of making more local friends and just having a more authentic Australian experience. So the city itself, like I said, beautiful old buildings in the city centre. There's Lake Wendouree, which is really famous lake near the city centre. It's beautiful for picnics and walks. Then just really nice tree-lined streets and interesting architecture. There's plenty of things to see and do. There's the wildlife park. There's Sovereign Hill, which is a really famous tourist destination where you can go back in time to the 1850s and go back to the gold mining times. Have you ever been to Sovereign Hill, Bo?
No, actually, I do really want to go to Ballarat because of its historical significance in Australia. Really, there was even a lot of uprisings there as well that I'd like to learn more about myself. And there was a Eureka Stockade there, so I'd like to learn more about that. It's very, very historical, as you can see, and I think that's for those history buffs out there would be very interesting, and to transport yourself back in time, I think it would be a very interesting place to live.
Yeah, it's a great place to live, and yeah, it's a historic city, like you said, the kind of heart of democracy in Australia.
That's right.
And yeah, hopefully you can come and visit someday, and I can show you around the campus and the town.
Absolutely. And
so
it's quite modern as well. You've got some quite modern restaurants, bars, a lot of places to hang out and have fun too.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there's like new things all the time. Obviously, this year has been a difficult year, but Ballarat has been changing rapidly. There's a lot of jobs coming to Ballarat, a lot of great restaurants and bars, a lot of great stuff to do. And also, it's really easy to get out from Ballarat into the countryside. Like last weekend, I went on a hike in the Grampians Mountains. That was me standing up there about 5 days ago, about 3 or 4 days ago, and camping for a couple of days. It was hard work. It was really hard work, but it was a lot of fun. And a few weeks ago, we went to the beach here. So you have the Great Ocean Road, which is about an hour and a half drive from Ballarat. So by Australian standards, everything is really close. Like an hour and a half is very close, by Australian standards. Yeah. So Melbourne up here is just an hour on the train to get into the city centre of Melbourne. So there are lots of parts of Melbourne where you might live. It would take you more than an hour to get into the city centre of Melbourne.
Yep.
So Ballarat to Melbourne city centre is just an hour on the train. Beautiful wildlife and nature around Ballarat. So yeah, it's really easy to get out into the countryside from Ballarat and to explore Australia.
How much is that train ticket now to Ballarat or to Melbourne?
I think I haven't done it for a long time now, and when I was doing it before, I was using the work company card most of the time. So, but I think it's I think it's $35 return, something like that. But obviously, if you're doing it more often, you can get a discount on that. Yeah, and I think students would get discount too. Okay, so another great thing about studying in Ballarat or Gippsland is that it's much cheaper to live in regional cities. Like in Melbourne, a room in a rental house costs on average $266 per week, according to the government. In Ballarat, that's $106 a week. So it's close to a third of the cost for accommodation. So that's a big saving, especially when, if you're working a part-time job in Ballarat, you get paid the same amount of money as if you're in Melbourne or Sydney. So that's a big saving. Another great reason to come to Ballarat or Gippsland is that students will be eligible for an extended post-study work visa. So I'm sure everyone here knows, but students who study a bachelor or master's in Australia will qualify for a 2-year post-study work visa. If they're in Melbourne, Sydney, or Brisbane, 2 years is the end of that. If they are in Adelaide, Hobart, Perth, or other regional capital cities like that, they can extend by 1 extra year. But Ballarat is one of the smaller regional cities where people can extend for 2 more years and stay up to 4 years, as long as they keep living and working in Ballarat. So honestly, I think that Ballarat for the 4 years, Ballarat is the best place in Australia to access that 4-year post-study work visa.
Yeah.
So there's other advantages of being in regional areas, obviously faster visa processing, access to regional occupation lists and PR benefits and so on. There's also great employment opportunities. You know, I said before that we are the #1 for full-time employment in Victoria and #1 for starting salary. There are great employment opportunities in Ballarat for students and graduates who have great skills, great English, and great attitude. Okay, so in regional areas like Ballarat, of course, there are a lot less jobs than there are in Melbourne, but there are also a lot less people. So when you go for that job, as a skilled university graduate, you are much more likely to get that job than if you're going for a job in Melbourne. So there's less competition for part-time work, graduate work. People often ask me if there are good part-time opportunities in Ballarat. And I say, you know, there are exactly the same opportunities in Ballarat as there are in Melbourne. Of course, there are less, but there's also less competition. You know, I know students who, you know, are fighting off employers, that they're being offered too many jobs. I mean, it takes a little while to settle in perhaps, but students who come to study with us, you know, take advantage of the career service that we have, get their CV set up really nicely, and there are great opportunities in Ballarat. Okay, so that's enough from the Ballarat Tourism Board. We also, so to talk about our schools and courses, we have 6 schools. We've got Federation Business School, School of Health, School of Engineering, Information Technology and Physical Sciences, School of Science, Psychology and Sport, School of Education, and School of Arts. So I'm just going to take you through some of the most relevant courses for international students. So the business school has a great reputation for teaching quality, again, really small class sizes, individual attention, excellent industry connections, and opportunities across our campuses, and a real commitment to work integrated learning. So again, according to the Good Universities Guide 2021, we're the #1 in Australia, the business school, for teaching quality, learner engagement, skills development, and #1 in Victoria for student support, full-time graduate employment, and median graduate starting salary again. We have the Bachelor of Business, so it's a 3-year degree, flexible, single and double major streams. So there's a common first year, and then students can specialize in entrepreneurship, human resource management, or marketing, or a double major. All these costs at the top here, these are the costs before the scholarship. So all degrees will, you can take 20% off the cost of these degrees at least. Bachelor of Professional Accounting is a newly updated degree, so it's fully accredited. And it's a comprehensive program for anyone wishing to become a professional accountant. And then at postgraduate level, we have Master of Professional Accounting. So again, this is a degree for people who haven't studied accounting before, and it's professionally accredited. That's available in Brisbane and Berwick. In terms of MBA, we have MBA International Business. So this is a newly updated degree. It's a wide-ranging MBA degree, lots of different business skills taught on the course. Strategic thinking, entrepreneurship, management, lots of different skills, and a focus on international business, marketing, leadership, and so on. And students finish with a 12-week professional experience module, so they get real-world practical experience. In Brisbane, we have the MBA Health Service Management. So that's an MBA designed for people who are specifically interested in working in healthcare. So if students are looking to move into management positions in healthcare, that's a great MBA for them. But it also has those wide-ranging business skills to help them in their general career. Okay, nursing is one of our most popular degrees for international students. It's a 3-year degree, and students do need to do the whole 3 years. Unfortunately, we can't offer any credit onto Bachelor of Nursing, even if students have studied nursing in the past, because the degree has been so popular that we don't have any space to take students into the 2nd year. So a lot of clinical placements, 800 hours, again, #1 in Victoria for full-time graduate employment of nurses. So it's a great program. We have excellent facilities. great connections in the health sector, and really good outcomes for our nursing graduates. Okay, engineering, like I said before, Federation University has a really long history of teaching engineering. We've taught engineering for 150 years. And you know, that means that we've got excellent reputation, great industry connections. All of our established programs are fully accredited by Engineers Australia. Again, small class sizes, individual attention, and again, really great outcomes for our students. So here are some of our engineering spaces in Ballarat. At bachelor level, we have 5 different subjects: civil, mechanical, mechatronic systems, mining, and electrical and information systems. All of these civil up to mining are fully accredited by Engineers Australia. Electrical and information is a new degree, but we're very confident it will be fully accredited by the time the first students graduate. So these are 4-year degrees. They have a common first year again, so students can change their mind before their second year. Everyone on the degree has to do 12 weeks of industry placement. And again, great outcomes for our students, #1 in Victoria for full-time graduate employment. For engineers accredited degrees, they're very affordable, and remember, take off about $5,000 off of that cost. At master's level, we also have 5 different subjects. We have civil, mechanical, mining, we have project management, and we have renewable and electrical power systems. So these 3, civil, mechanical, mining, are all established degrees accredited by Engineers Australia, and these 2 are new degrees, and again, we're hoping to get them fully accredited before the first students graduate. So Master of Engineering Technology, 2-year degree, really great graduate outcomes, 96% in full-time employment within 4 months, and the median salary is $130,000 compared to an average for graduates of engineering masters in Australia of 90,000. So excellent results because of our regional connections and you know, the quality of our degree. Okay, information technology is another area that we have an excellent reputation for. As you can see, we're #1 in Australia for lots of different categories. Now, we have great connections with IT, particularly with IBM. Just this week, we won a major Engagement Australia Award for student engagement based on this Bachelor of IT professional practice degree. So it's a really unique degree. Students on this degree, in their 2nd and 3rd year, they spend 6 months of each year on a work placement at the local IBM offices in Ballarat. So they're putting their academic theory into practice at IBM. They get paid a scholarship of $42,000 over those 2 years. So really, it's a 100% tuition fee scholarship. They get paid that by IBM on a fortnightly basis. So to qualify for this degree, obviously it's a bit competitive. Usually students will come and do a Bachelor of IT degree with us. And in their 1st year, if they impress their lecturers, they can apply to go on to this program, and they'll have an interview at the end of their 1st year. And if they pass the interview, they'll get onto the program. If you have really high quality potential students who are doing really well in their high school and have particularly in maths, then please let me know, and I can arrange for them to have a web interview with staff from Federation and staff from IBM, and possibly they would get a guaranteed 1st year place onto this degree. Okay, wow. So there is that opportunity there for really great undergraduates, really great high school students. We have a wide range of other Bachelor of IT degrees. So again, common 1st year, and then students can specialize in any of these different subjects: big data and analytics, business information system, games development, and so on. All of these degrees are available in Ballarat. Some of them are available at our other campuses. At master's level, we have the Master of Technology in Software Engineering or Enterprise Systems and Business Analytics. So they're both very popular degrees, especially the Enterprise Systems and Business Analytics. They will teach students skills that are really highly in demand and in Australia and across the world. We have a really hands-on approach. Every student practices regularly with the software that they will use in their professional life. We have great industry connections. We use cutting-edge software from SAP, SAS, IBM, like I said before. And we have really great outcomes for our students. A lot of our students get jobs through connections that they make at the university with big companies before they finish their degree. In terms of science, we have a wide range of bachelor degrees in health and life science. Again, great student feedback about our science degrees. We have excellent facilities for science. And like I said, a diverse range of degrees. So students can do Bachelor of Science General or Biomedical Science, Biotechnology, Environmental and Conservation Science, Exercise and Sport Science, Food and Nutritional Health Sciences, or Veterinary and Wildlife Science. We also have Bachelor of Psychological Science. So that's an accredited program for students who are interested in studying psychology and learning about human thought and behavior. In terms of education, we have a great reputation for our education degrees. At master's level, we have Master of Teaching Secondary, Primary, and Early Childhood. For offshore students, the IELTS is quite difficult to achieve. It's 7.5, and students need 8 for speaking and listening. But so it really depends on the student's background. But for onshore students, we have a waiver. So if students have completed a degree in Australia, they don't need to take the IELTS again. They don't need to meet those IELTS requirements. So that's Master of Teaching Secondary, Early Childhood. A degree for teachers, for qualified teachers, the IELTS is only 6.0. So that's Master of Education Studies. So if you have qualified teachers who are looking to improve their skills, upgrade their skills, that's a great option for them to come and learn about different areas of practice, policy, and teaching research. Okay, another one of our most popular areas is social work and community services. So at bachelor level, we have the Bachelor of Community and Human Services. It's an accredited degree, accredited by Australian Community Workers Association. So students will develop skills to work in a variety of areas such as mental health, disability, child welfare and protection. We have great industry placements and again, #1 in Victoria for student support and overall educational experience. So that degree is becoming more popular at a bachelor level because there are lots of great opportunities for people to work in social work, especially in Australia and beyond. Our Master of Social Work is up there with nursing as one of our most popular degrees for international students. So it's fully accredited by Australian Association of Social Workers. It has a unique flexible structure. So students only need to be on campus 1 day every 2 weeks. On a Friday, they have a whole day of like seminars, presentations, group work. So it's really interactive and engaging, but students have a lot of time for individual study and to balance their work and other commitments. There's also 140 days of work placements, so students get great opportunities to build their skills and build connections and confidence. And we have great student support, especially on this degree. To get onto the Master of Social Work, students need to have at least a year's worth of previous study connected to social work. So we're really looking for 8 previous academic units that are connected to social work, psychology, sociology, and so on. If students don't have enough units, they might be able to apply for our graduate certificate of social and community services. So that's a 1 semester degree. Again, students only need to be on campus 1 day every 2 weeks. And students can do that to get the extra units they need to be eligible for the Master of Social Work. And then they can package with the Master of Social Work and complete that degree. Okay, nearly finished. So research, we have a really growing reputation for research. We were rated 5 out of 5 in 7 different research areas, including clinical sciences, civil engineering and nursing. We have great research facilities, Ballarat Technology Park. We have a beautiful, we actually look after a massive area of New South Wales called Nanya Station. So for environmental research, that's really important base. So if you have research students, we'd welcome those applications. Okay, and just to summarize really, 6 things to share with students. So at Federation University, we have outstanding employment outcomes, really high quality personalized teaching, great student support. We have excellent new scholarships worth 20 to 25% of tuition fees, plus the accommodation scholarship. We have industry relevant and accredited courses and great facilities at our regional and city campuses. If you'd like to find out more about Federation, you can go to our website. You can go to our YouTube channel and find international student testimonial videos. You can follow us on social media at FedUni Australia. You can email me at dcherry@federation.edu.au. So thank you for your time. That's the end of my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that we've got. Thanks, Bo.
Thank you, Dan. Fantastic presentation. Really summed it up quite nicely and covering all of the different schools and subject areas too, and all of those key and popular courses. Yeah, I'm quite curious about what is IBM's role in Ballarat. What kind of center do they have there? Is it like a research and development center or like a fabrication center? What exactly are they doing in Ballarat?
Sure. So they have 2 big offices in the Ballarat Technology Park. They're a major employer in Ballarat, and about 60% of their staff are Federation University graduates. It's a very multicultural employer as well. So they have students from all over the world, including a lot of international students who have come. So they have employees from all over the world, including a lot of international students who've come through Federation. What they're doing, they do a lot of data analytics. So I think they have, like off the top of my head, I'm struggling to exactly describe it. I'm not an IT expert, but they have 2 different centers. One of them is specialized more to do with data analytics. So they're working on big projects for major companies, helping them to analyze their data and work out the best ways to just understand all the information that's coming into their companies. And the other side is sorry, I'm just drawing a blank here about what the other side of IBM. But I can find out if people are interested. I can find out exactly, what they do.
That would be good.
And if you Google IBM Ballarat, they have a few videos that talk about what they do in Ballarat as well.
Oh,
but
great.
really, they've been in Ballarat a long time. They came to Ballarat, it was supported by the university, supported by the government to an extent as a regional employer, as a IT hub. Sorry, so they've been connected to the university since their establishment, and it's a great relationship we have with IBM, and
absolutely.
they're an
you can tell they've done so much
community.
for the community in Ballarat for sure, and given so many opportunities to international students. And I'm also interested in that that program or that scholarship that IBM has on offer. Is it mainly in the past it's both open to local and international students, right?
Yeah. So like I said, in the past, for local students, they would mainly be high school graduates, and they would come and do an interview, and they would be accepted onto the program in their first year. For international students, because of the problem of obviously students were not in the country, what they tended to do is, and what they generally do is, students who are on our Bachelor of IT in their first year, like I said, if they do really well, then they can talk to their tutors about applying for this degree, and they would have an interview at the end of their first year. And I've spent, the course coordinator, I know very well, and over the last year or so, we've discussed about opening it up. She would love to attract, really high quality students, international students. So that's why she is keen to, get applications for direct entrance, assess the application if she thinks that they have strong potential. So if students are doing really well at high school, if they're doing really well in maths in particular, and if they have a genuine interest in IT, so, maybe they've done coding or so on in the past, then we would invite them to interview, have a web interview. And if the web interview goes well, then they would be offered a place to come and be guaranteed to go onto that program in their second year. So we had the first international student who did that this year. She's from Surabaya in Indonesia, and she's been on campus this year and is about to start her placements at IBM early next year. And we would have had more, but obviously it's been a difficult year. So yeah, we're definitely open. I'm definitely open to hearing about really great applicants who would be interested in that program.
Fantastic. Yeah, so just remember, everyone, the floor is open right now. If you have any questions, I see there's a few. Good to see some agent from Vietnam here, from Nepal. So if you have any questions specific from your countries, or if you want to know more about how your students from Vietnam or from Nepal engage in their time in Federation, please let us know. What about social work, Dan? So you said a couple of those courses there, the student just has to attend one Friday every 2 weeks. So what would an international student normally do in their time outside of that? Like, what sort of places where would they find work? What tends to be the most popular place to go find work in Ballarat for social work?
Social work, there are a lot of opportunities in Ballarat, and across Australia. But when I was looking for jobs in Ballarat, I got really frustrated by scrolling down the list and seeing so many social work opportunities that I wasn't qualified for. But obviously, there are disability support, mental health support, youth support. Social work ranges everything from youth development work, working in sports groups and so on, all the way through to, working with family care and so on. And, so there's a variety of positions in social work. But in terms of students who are, studying social work, what they can do part-time in terms of work, then yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for disability support and youth care in Ballarat. In Australia, we have the NDIS, a National Disability Insurance Scheme. There are opportunities that have come out of that, and in terms of working on the scheme, in terms of provision of support to people who qualify for the National Disability Insurance Scheme. So yeah, I think there are lots of opportunities for social work students in Ballarat. The last time I did a video with a Filipino student who's doing social work with us, and she was working for a disability support, I think it was disability support agency in Ballarat. And when I was walking around, filming her with her and other students, she was actually kind of like, if she bumped into students who were interested, she was practically offering them jobs because, she was helping to recruit people for her company. So, there are good opportunities for qualified students. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Let's see here. Okay, people are a little bit shy today, Dan.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
No, that's okay. Yeah, so okay, I think we might end it there. And we have this session recorded, so our other agents can listen in later on. But if we have any more questions, Dan, I'll shoot them over to you. And we really look forward to promoting Federation more in 2021. I agree with you. I think Ballarat is probably the best destination of all that can receive a 4-year post-study working visa, even if it was classified as 3. It's a fantastic destination to go to. So close to Melbourne, and it's got that really unique historical aspect and character as well. I think the people in Ballarat are really unique and interesting as well. So I think there's lots of great benefits for international students to go there, and great, a whole host of schools and programs available and very affordable. So remember that, guys, as well. I think there's a lot of benefits here to think about. So yeah, thank you once again, Dan. And if we need any more of your help, I'll be sure to get in contact with you. And all the best for the rest of this year, and a Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Bo. Thanks for inviting me. That was a great summary of, the benefits of studying at Federation University. So yeah, appreciate your support. And again, happy Christmas to you. And let's hope for a better 2021.
Yes. Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, definitely. Great. Okay, take care, everybody. Thanks for attending. And I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you so much. See you, Dan.
Bye.
Bye-bye.